Just look at the screen. This isn't hard.
Hey-o!
What's up?
Hello.
Happy Sunday. It's Sunday, right?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, it feels
Sunday.
like the holiday already, but it's not.
No, it does not. Tomorrow doesn't even feel like a holiday.
All right, well, welcome everyone to Living for Crits. It's Sunday. It's a bizarre holiday weekend, number one. And number two, I'm Judge James.
I'm Judge Evie.
And someone else showed up.
Yeah, and then there's me.
Yeah.
No judge here.
No judge. How about judgment?
Just Jen. There could be judgment.
There's judgment.
Judgment Jen.
There could be.
Much judgment. All right, so we're breaking a few rules tonight in our initial conversations about what the Living for Crits channel was going to be. Our goal originally was to be like 99% Dungeon Crawl Classics oriented.
Which is basically true.
True.
This will just be the next.
Whoa! Oh my gosh!
I veto one thing. I think that you should have variety.
Okay.
So
when I first made that comment, Troy Tucker said, "Where's the Numenera?" And I'm like, we're going to try to keep this to games that Judge Evie and I can play, because Evie can't run Numenera, right?
you can play it.
You can kind of play it.
I know, but like. Okay, continue.
So
All right,
for those reasons, we were the original shows were kind of leaning against, having any other content in there. But if you follow the Living for Crits channel for the years prior, we do love the Monte Cook Games stuff, and whenever there's been a Kickstarter, we have usually done something to support the Kickstarter. And now that one in our household actually works for Monte Cook Games,
Is it you?
Well, it's not him.
we thought
And it's not me.
Judge Evie and I thought we would drag Jen on
I
camera.
can't really see. I'm trying to be all official.
We thought we would drag Jen
hair's
on
in the way.
and try to get her to say something she's not supposed to say that'll get her in trouble, some kind of secret about the Kickstarter.
No.
Go. Say something you're not supposed to say.
Yeah, Matt Calder's on. What's up, Matt?
I don't really have any secrets.
All right, we're going to see how...
We're going to test that.
Unless I know some that I don't think I know.
We're going to throw things at her and see how... And you know what? We're also going to see how much she knows about Numenera with a little bit of Numenera trivia.
That's just mean.
You've got to
That's just
know.
mean.
You've got to know more than me.
I haven't really been getting in my study time. I've been a little busy.
Yeah, you have been.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyway, let's move into the show. Our weekend. It's been a big weekend over here in the Walls residence. We went to see Beetlejuice yesterday.
Beetlejuice.
Sucks yes.
I thought maybe we'd have three of us, three Beetlejuices.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Say
Go.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Before we move on to the next segment, what was the verdict? How was Beetlejuice?
It was amazing.
It's a really good time. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Sucks.
That was in the Winter Garden Theater?
Winter Garden Theater, former home to Cats.
From home to School of Rock.
That's the pre-CGI Cats.
Yes, I would argue that it is the only Cats.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of Cats. Not that I saw it there.
You know what, though?
Anybody?
If you weren't a real big fan of Cats, the musical, and then you see this movie coming out,
Someone had to
and
be a
you
fan
had to
of...
pick.
Someone had to be a fan of
How did it
Cats.
stay on
Well,
longer
it
than
was
stay on
on
for
a
so long.
very long time.
How was it on that long?
There's a lot of cat people out there. I mean, I not being a cat person at the time,
That's
still
Greg,
really
right?
liked it.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Greg?
Hello.
You a cat person?
I know, Matt and Greg, if you're cat people, let us know. If you're
There's
cats
someone
people, let us
on
know.
Instagram
you
who
know,
only posts cats. As
We
a gamer.
could be
I can't know who it
cats
is.
people. We just need to get that new shot, and then we can be cat people.
Okay. Well, anyway, we had that going on.
You know who's a
Moving
cat
on.
person? David Beatty's a cat person.
David Beatty is a cat
I'm
person. it's
pretty
true.
positive.
David Beatty of Dark Trails fame is a cat person.
He posts
All right.
them.
The other thing, gaming-wise, was today I ran Microfugue State with my friends Charlotte, Mike, Frank, and Brendan. And that was a Numenera adventure, which is, again, because tis the Numenera season over here, which it was by Sean Reynolds. It's out of Explorer's Keys, which is one of the books they put out. And it features the best parts of Inner Space, Fantastic Voyage, and Microsurgeon, which was an Intellivision game, if you've ever played it. I know it's going back into the early 80s when I say Intellivision, but that was a good system.
I thought I was the book model, and I don't see.
Fickle GM put a cat up, I think.
Oh wait.
And
Who's
Matt's
Cat's
asking
Numenera
how long until the
stretch
Cat's
goal?
Numenera stretch goal?
Oh no.
You know,
Jen, when's the Cat's
Yeah,
Numenera
come on.
stretch goal?
I don't know. Maybe I could work that in. You know,
I think we should say as
it'll
of
be
right
my new pitch.
as of right now.
we need.
Let's
we
see.
need
Let's look at the
Cats
Kickstarter here. As of right now, the Kickstarter
within
is
$500.
within $500.
Oh,
Within
oh!
$400
Yeah.
of the next backer of the next what's it stretch goal? It's at $239,603. So we'll maybe everyone
Keep an eye on that throughout the.
here will go back it
Moments.
more.
Maybe everyone who's watching will back it more.
Matt says cats are all right. I have a dog RN.
Right now.
Right now. I meant dog nurse.
Down with the lingo. Yeah.
I have a dog RN.
nurse.
I thought he was like a dog registered
Yeah,
nurse
I know.
due to apartment nonsense. I don't know. I thought Matt was a registered nurse. I'm sorry.
I feel like our dog is not
No, he's not.
pulling his weight here. If I don't know,
He should be sent off
I don't know
to
that
nursing
he's
school.
gonna be a dog RN, but
I do not think so. All right. So anyway, we're gonna move into our show, and I thought we could talk a bit about what Numenera is for those who don't know. I thought I could talk. We could talk a bit about the Kickstarter right now, and then we're starting to do Judge Evie Presides. We're gonna move that to after the Numenera section though. Just move it a little bit. We're gonna do it. We have 3 questions.
I know,
Oh,
it's the
man.
most we've had in
It's the most we've
months.
had. We don't have any road crew shout outs though, do we?
No, we've only had one.
So we're going to go ahead and
Give us
we
a
have
shout-out.
our own road crew shout out we're going to throw out
self
there.
promotion.
We
A
do?
little bit. A little
Sorry.
bit.
We do have one.
Matt says dog nurses are cheaper.
That's probably true.
Fickle GM said Nurse Fido has great bedside
See,
manner.
and this is,
And
this is
there
why
he is.
ours isn't a good nurse. He
As we are doing the show,
Get
you'll
him
see
back.
I've gotten a little better at doing
Hey.
my Twitch. I was able to put words in the bottom of the screen.
Oh, yeah. Those are the okay.
We have a very grumbly dog right
That's
now.
Ridley is
No, it's thunder. It's thunder.
Look at this.
Sound
Wait,
effects.
look. We can do like this.
Dude.
So if you're
like a
interested in
sing-along.
finding the Numenera Liminal Shores Kickstarter as we talk about it, here's the link. Okay.
It's a sing-along.
All right. So anyway,
Follow the bouncing ball, kids.
this is going to be a challenge. The 3 of us. All right. So what
And one
is
very
Numenera?
grouse
I guess
sound.
an important question to answer first because again, since we have so many watchers, so many, like 36 people follow us on Twitter. It's not so many. Since the majority
Start
of
somewhere,
them
man.
found us because of Dungeon Crawl Classics, what is it? And we're going to have the expert here tell us what Numenera is. Jen,
I'm not the expert.
Jen, give us the take on Numenera.
Give us like your sales.
I'm going to hold up my...
No, I hold the books.
It was my understanding that I was the one that was
No,
going
no.
to just hold the book.
Yeah, we're changing this. Okay.
Wow. So Evie, tell us about Numenera.
No, you are our guest. We tell you to tell us.
Tell it to a 7th grader.
Oh,
I'm a
boy.
7th grader. Explain Numenera to
Oh,
me.
wait.
Hey, you like science fantasy?
I don't know, do I?
Do I?
You like the future?
Maybe.
Maybe you'll like Numenera.
Wow.
That's a hard sell. What fell off your hat?
Wow, see,
Numenera got me so shook my hat fell off.
Numenera is a role-playing game by Monte Cook. Takes place. It's a science fantasy game that takes place 1 billion years in the future. It is the game that kicked off the Cipher System, in which other games from Monte Cook Games are derived from. Okay, so what?
a lot of
Fickle
effort.
GMs, I'm sold. Numenera itself is an important game for our family, which is why I brought everyone on tonight. First off, this game was sort of what got Jen into role-playing games. She had played
True.
D&D, like basic D&D, once or twice prior, and had gotten our family into gaming because our first long-term campaign as a family was when we took this and Disney-fied this,
True.
where Carrie, my oldest daughter, played Elsa. You played Anna, and your mom played Merida. All right.
Merida, with my inability to do any kind of accent.
So, and we did a Disney campaign for for a whole year with Numenera. It was a lot of fun. It was, and that campaign was what kicked off the Living for Crits blog. Not the Living for Crits blog. There'd be no Living for Crits Twitch channel. So it all kind of came out of Numenera. So it's and I've run between Numenera and other Cipher System games probably at least a couple hundred games of this. So, you know, there's a chance that probably like neck and neck over the last 5 years, I may have run more Cipher System in Numenera than I have of DCC. I know it's gotten pretty close the last couple of years, but I kind of go back and forth as to what I'm running the most at any given time. Because it's a totally different feel. It's not as random.
This is like a soft cover thing.
Yeah.
And that one's like more
It's not as
Totally
it's not as random. You make your own character. You don't roll. There's no 3d6 in order for making stats. There is a class system like Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's a D20 game, but it's a solid game, and we really enjoy it.
Look, solid. No hollowness in here.
So anyway, so that's our basic shtick. I'm gonna answer some questions here. Greg's asking, is that a Greendale from Sabrina shirt? No, it's a Greendale human being shirt.
Community.
From Community.
Guess who lives the other
But we
town?
do very much enjoy Sabrina.
Yes.
Guess who lives the other town over than Greendale?
You know this.
We know it's Riverdale. Mm-hmm. Not that I watch Riverdale, but you do.
She really wants you to.
So anyway, so that's
really should.
that's Numenera, all right. And if you are interested in knowing a little bit more about my take on Numenera, I'll discuss it a bit during the show in some ways, but I will. I'll say that there is another on my YouTube channel. There's a video of like why play Numenera or something like that.
Wasn't that like episode
It
0?
was like 2 years ago. No, it was like 2 years ago, and I talk about it. And I think I've even run some other Cipher stuff, not Numenera, but as actual plays. There's other things in my channel that talks about it. Matt's asking 0 level Numenera stretch goal when, Jen?
Like 0 level. ECC kind
What's,
of.
like
so
0 level
disposable characters. Is that what we're talking?
I should note, if you're looking for disposable characters, if you type in Numenera Crawl Classics on my blog a few years ago, I have a 100.
Yeah, we already have that covered.
I got that covered. It's like 100 occupations for Numenera Crawl Classics. So you can go do that now. If you want to be a Neen milker or something, a Queslin salt liquor, that's all in there, you know?
I don't even remember any of them.
And he's growling again.
Yep.
Hey, Ridley. Shh. And he's coming over here. Okay.
Hi, Randy.
Anyway. Are we having trouble? Greg says he's having buffering issues. Odd. Not odd, but
Oh man.
I'm hoping it's not us.
You're getting some shade.
All right, Will's saying I was in an online Numenera game. It was really fun, but the GM got busy or something. Yeah, Will Keller was in my. We have one section left to finish of the Devil's Spine that we have not finished. I don't know.
That was the game that we played, right?
Yeah, but we didn't finish it either. We played a few adventures into
a really
it.
Bad track record for finishing this game.
I know. I have one segment left to finish with that crew. One day we shall.
One day.
All right. Here we go. All right. Where are we? Okay, here we go. So why are we talking about it? That's the next section here. All right. There is a Kickstarter going on right now. Yeah. The Numenera Liminal Shores Kickstarter.
Numenera Liminal Shores Kickstarter.
That's the song, right? That's the official song. And the Kickstarter's going on right now. It's on till like, I don't know, the September what? You can say it out loud. Don't have to mouth it.
September 13th.
Just you're the friggin' Monte Cook Games expert here.
Yeah.
Do you want to steal your thunder? Yes, September 13th.
Okay. And what's the goal?
On the away,
what's like we've beaten the main goal, right?
The main goal?
You've beaten, not we. You guys have beaten like the it's broken past its.
Correct. It's woo.
Boops.
Perils of technology at the table here. Yes. Broken past its initial 60,000. Is that what you're saying?
So chatty on here.
I know. That's why I let you
keep your head in focus.
I'm really the one that brings the tea. That's essentially. I'm all behind the scenes.
All right, and there is, for those of you who don't know, if you have never played it before, there are a couple of backer levels that are kind of cool. There, that would be interesting to you maybe. There is a backer level that's kind of on the lower end. It's like $25 that gets you the Numenera starter set. Mm-hmm. And there's a backer on the high end that's like $300 that gets you the 2 current core books, which is We have like everything.
You could be this guy.
So it's the Discovery and Destiny core books
I'm gonna take a
on top of all the Liminal Shore stuff that's out there.
If you get it, you can be this guy.
Well, do you want to? Should we explain a little bit about like what this is in terms of?
Yeah,
What's
this was the
this?
old core book, and now the
What's
new
the
core
tape
book
all
is
over
2
it?
core books.
So this basically has the bulk.
This was
of
that. Yes,
the orange-ish book,
that is correct.
and then this is expanding upon. Oh boy, this
Yeah, put it on.
It's backwards.
This adds
I can't figure this
some
camera
additional
out.
character options. But what's
Yes.
Jen? What is Liminal Shores bringing everybody?
Yeah.
So I said I was just gonna.
You're gonna read it verbatim?
basically. No, I'm not gonna read it verbatim. But
Keep your head in.
Keep your head in the camera.
Here, I'll hold
my
it.
goodness. No, well, my big shtick on this is
no one will
really
see
the
it.
Let your mother talk.
yeah. Evie keeps moving my
We're
phone
being
around.
so professional here.
I always say delve into the data sphere, explore new lands, and unravel the mysteries of the past is my little line, right? So, what does that mean?
You asking me? Because I know.
What does that mean to you? If I say that to you,
It means that Monte Cook Games is expanding upon the Numenera campaign setting right now by adding a whole book about like the friggin' sun, a book that covers the data sphere, which is the
That
interwebs
was actually
of
what
the
I was gonna
future,
ask you
and a book that covers new lands on the Ninth World.
Mm-hmm.
Whether those lands are, I think the question that some folks have been chatting with is, are those lands in the past, or are those lands somewhere else in the world itself?
I guess you gotta
So-
back the Kickstarter.
Matt's
to
saying
find out.
he would watch a stream of Jen reading the core book. Oh my gosh, that'd be fun.
Wow, that could take a while, and I do have to read it, so maybe this is something we can
Just
offer.
come on live and read it live.
I feel like it would be a little bit like Andy Kaufman, reading.
What was he reading?
Oh gosh, what did he read? Tale of Two Cities or something.
I don't know. Is he reading the book about keeping your head on camera?
This is very.
This is
peculiar.
Here's my impression of Jen.
Well, see, I feel like I need to move this way, and then I move out of this.
Watch. I'm doing it again. Ready?
This is my first time on Twitch, and I wasn't aware that it was.
A billion years in the future, your head can't stay on wall.
I'm very, very taken aback by the backwards nature of this.
All right, so let's for those viewers who don't know, have never played Numenera, Jen, as someone who had never enjoyed role-playing games prior to Numenera, why was Numenera fun for you?
Whew, okay, well, first and foremost, you lured me in with the fact that I was going to play with my friends and there would be wine. That was always a bonus to any.
It does say in
to
the
any
core book.
get-together,
Wait.
but
Is it
best paired with.
A billion years in the making. Numenera this is by Monte Cook. Numenera is a tale that has grown in the telling. When I started working on it 6 years ago, Jim and Jen were going to have wine and play with friends. That's right out of the book by
I think
Monte
it does
Cook.
say
The wine
best
I-
paired with a Pinot Noir,
Is the wine included?
a nice sharp cheese.
Or do you have to like buy it yourself?
But no, I mean, oh gosh, I don't know. I had no. I know
Move
my
it
head's in
with
there.
her head stay on camera. If I actually move it,
know.
your head's gonna still drift off.
I know I have to come this way, right? I have to get
Well,
closer.
now you do.
No, I really enjoyed the. I don't know. It felt like I was more free to do whatever I wanted in this game, and I don't really have a lot of comparison because I had only played once or twice before.
You do now.
And those one or two times before were not great. But
All right, look at that. Fickle GM says, each of you, what is your favorite thing about Numenera? The setting.
oh, the setting.
Evie, you're first. What's your favorite thing about Numenera?
Wait, what are the hand motions again?
The hand motions?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you was talking about.
They're like the steadfast.
Don't forget the
Beyond.
weapon rack.
The weapon rack.
I think she's
wicked
referring
inside
to
joke.
a inside family joke where we used to describe the steadfast and the beyond, the two segments of the Ninth World with hand motions.
And somehow the weapon rack got in there.
The weapon rack was from Hero Quest.
Oh, it was actually like a little piece, right?
Jen, what is your favorite thing about the Numenera, the setting?
I like finding the Numenera, finding all these like cool things, and you don't know what they are when you find them or what they're going to do, and then I like to find creative ways to use them that probably no one else would use them for.
And well, my favorite thing about Numenera, there is a podcaster and gaming I don't know luminary named Ron Blessing, and he was on the Smiling Jack's Bar and Grill podcast and the Roleplay DNA podcast for Savage Worlds. And during, I think, Roleplay DNA, he had coined a phrase. Now, I'd never heard it before. I don't know if it came from Ron, but it was "ooh shiny syndrome." And it's something where when you're a game master, dungeon master, whatever, and you love the game you have until something else inspires you to be interested in something else. So if you are in a big fantasy kick and you're playing D&D, and then the next thing you know, you happen to binge watch all of Deadlands, and now you want to play you binge watch Deadwood, and then you want to play Deadlands. What?
Nothing. Continue.
So anyway, and then you accidentally find yourself watching all of the, I don't know, a bunch of old 40s stuff like Band of Brothers, and World War II stuff, and then you want to play
Quantum Leap.
What? Quantum Leap?
I mean, you could be watching anything. I guess what I'm saying.
Riverdale.
So anyway,
Yeah.
what I like about Numenera as a setting is it kind of, you can use any inspiration in the game and it kind of works. So the game has that fantasy feel to it, but it brings in science and science fantasy. Mm-hmm. So you can have one series of adventures where it's very much a dungeon crawl, and then the next series of adventure, the party is accidentally on the moon, and it works. You can just work through that. So like today's adventure that I ran for my players involved going inside of a dude. Martin Short kind of like inner space, where there were cities inside him, kind of like less inner space and more Rick and Morty. What was that show called? There was the park that was inside the guy.
Eye holes.
Not eye holes.
I can't think of it.
Get up on out of here.
With damn eye holes.
So that's my favorite thing about Numenera.
I cannot remember. I keep thinking Total Recall, and that's not it.
Good question there, though, sir. Or ma'am. Whoever. I can't remember who's Fickle GM?
I don't know.
I lose track of who's who. I'm sorry. I know every week it says, I know, I have to write that down. I kind of have to, sometimes I know because I know like GS, it's Greg Schwarzkopf.
Well, we know who Matt Calder is.
Yeah, because his name.
Maybe
No,
it's an
we do.
Pretty straightforward.
impersonator.
No, we do. Yes, it's
Maybe
another
it's someone
Matt Calder.
pretending to be Matt Calder.
There you go. Next question. Ooh, this is good. What is your favorite rule mechanic in Numenera, the Cipher System? Does anyone want to answer? Who wants to answer this question?
Could this be multiple choice?
No, you have to answer. No, just pick one.
I got one. one.
Okay, we go.
The cards. The cards.
What which cards?
Which cards do you like?
The experience point cards?
Aren't there GM intrusions?
The GM intrusion cards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you like those?
Because it's fascinating.
I too like the GM intrusion mechanic because it allows the game master to insert crazy things and then reward the players. When in Numenera and the Cipher System, the GM doesn't roll dice. The player rolls all dice, either attack rolls or they're dodging an attack from a monster or a creature. So what GM intrusions are is the GM takes narrative control of the scene and gives experience points to the players. Oh, it's Gabriel Whitehead. Look at that.
Who's that?
Oh no, Gabriel. I have seen you online, sir. So I didn't know Fickle GM. He's someone I've chatted with on Facebook. So the GM intrusion allows you to take narrative control and say, okay, you're climbing a wall and everything's going along fine. The GM says, GM intrusion. And then it has to give you an experience point. You take another experience point and give it to another player. So you get 2. You keep 1 and give 1 to another player. Which experience points can be used to advance or to reroll your dice. And then you, at that point, once you have done this, have to face an additional challenge. Maybe the wall was covered in mucus.
Oh my gosh! I was saying it starts to ooze slime. So
there you
we're
go.
On the same
we're on the same weird
wavelength
page.
Must be spending all this time together.
What's your favorite mechanic? Do you remember?
See, I don't really know terminology, right? But I guess the thing that I appreciate the most, let's put it that way.
Stay on camera.
My ability to stay on camera. No. So in a lot of games where there are a lot of dice, and I'm not calling out one particular system because we play a couple different things here in this house, right?
What system are you calling out?
Anything we play that's not I was actually
I'm just asking.
thinking,
I'm just getting the DCC nunchucks. No reason.
That's
What
not even where I
system
was
we call
going.
out for having too many dice?
Yeah. Mom.
Nobody has too many dice.
Oh, just keep going.
No.
Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, what I was trying to say is that I have a very hard time knowing what to roll and how it's going to be successful. So I appreciate the fact that I can, if you tell me what the difficulty or the whatever the difficulty is, right? I can just say, oh, I gotta take that times 3, and I know that's the number to beat, right?
Yes.
And I can remember that because it's I roll one die.
Correct.
There's a lot going on in a lot of
We
games.
have some comments.
L to the O to the L.
Joan is saying, so Cipher System and Numenera are the same thing. And I think Matt's already answered it. Yeah, so Cipher System is
Cipher's the guts.
The
like
guts of Numenera. There is a
what
Cipher
makes it
System
tick.
core book. It's behind me. It's like wrapped away. You don't need that. Numenera came out first.
Yep.
The Cipher System
Now, Cipher System rulebook is also getting
an update,
very
which is
soon.
was kickstarted a year ago, right?
Yes,
And
it will be coming quite soon for sale on the website.
there you go.
Yeah.
So there's
Mini plug.
There's a
Oh,
lot
I'm going the
of
wrong way
other
again.
settings
This entire
for a
thing is
Cipher
like-
System that are out there that are linked to the core book, and then it's a generic system in that respect. The Newman Era books, though, this is everything's in there. And the reason it's called the Cipher System is because of ciphers. Jen, what's a cipher?
It's like a cool thing that you find, right?
Uh-oh. Joan's saying
Confused.
she's now more confused. Okay.
Okay, we're making this complicated.
Yes. Numenera itself is its own standalone game. That's its own. So that's it.
Why don't we roll
Yeah,
it back
this is
and
Numenera.
say that every game I don't want to say, every setting that we have, Monte Cook Games has, aside from No Thank You Evil and Invisible Sun.
Let me answer this.
Ah!
She's saying Numenera came
Am
out.
I overcomplicating?
You are.
Oh,
Numenera
yeah.
came out first, and it had a rule system that was fun, innovative, and cool. It had the GM intrusions, the dice mechanic, and the ciphers. And that was Numenera. And then certain folks were playing games using the guts of that system to do other settings, because it was all based around the Ninth World, the setting of Numenera, like the lands and whatnot. Everything in Numenera took place in here. But the system itself, the mechanics of it, could be used for other games. So in order to do that, they came up with a generic version of the core mechanic, of like the dice rolls and stuff. And that was the Cipher
I
system.
feel like it's like a synergy, kind of. Like
Now, and that came out 6 years ago was when Numenera released. So now it's been a while. Everything's called the Cipher System, but in essence, Numenera came out first. Will is saying The Strange is the best
I'm not
Cipher
gonna fight
game.
you.
Fight
I
me.
enjoy The Strange.
The Strange is another Cipher System based game, which is not being kickstarted currently. In fact, it's the question of support has come up, and I know
It
a lot
does
of
come
folks.
up very often.
A lot of folks, Jen, just saying, you got some inside tracks
Start
here.
a petition.
A petition to
Maybe
bring back
some
The Strange.
signatures. I don't know what to
Oh,
say.
that's. I was very confused.
Who wants to take the initiative on
I
that?
don't know. Yeah, this.
Oh my.
Oh, it's Jen. It's just it's like anything else.
I think
you know?
it's us, Joe.
I think
We're
it might be us
overcomplicating it.
overcomplicating it.
It's not. It's not.
It's not the point is right now the Kickstarter out, the Liminal Shores Kickstarter out is for stuff just in Numenera.
Right. Numenera
It went
is
down.
the.
Guess
it-
what?
It fluctuates.
Guess what, Judge Evie? What's your favorite thing about No Thank You Evil?
Oh.
which is another game by Monte Cook Games. It's a question for you. What's your favorite thing?
You can make up the adventures as you go along.
There you go.
That might just be me.
And it might be
Well,
that
that's because you're a professional.
that you were throwing a little bit of death into that game.
I
Where did that come from?
Yes,
Okay,
you're supposed to just get knocked out.
have a
would
reason
like to
that-
You have a reasoning. It's because you were at
Well,
DougCon
okay.
before running it.
Okay, so there's like a little boy, like a not younger than me, but like older than
It's
Cooper.
gonna be a long show.
No, you're gonna be right. Okay, so he was at the table, but there's also like a little girl that was like looked like 6 or 7, and he was like, "We gotta get more like, where's the death? Why are we in a castle?"
Oh, boy.
And so I said, "Okay, well there's a pit of lava underneath the castle, and it's full of acid." And someone fell in it, and I said, "You had
sure it
acid
wasn't just
burn."
like a pit of hot fudge?
No.
Not the way Judge Evie runs. No Thank You
He said
Evil.
he fell in and he died because he got
Judge
like, killed by
Evil's No
acid.
Thank You Evil is yes please evil. Give me more evil.
The little girl didn't care. They were
More
fine
evil.
with it.
So anyway,
I don't know.
to back things up a bit. Oh, Joan's saying the game store I run DCC at has the player book and the big Numenera book. I think I'm bad for your bank account.
Well, you should mention our favorite backer level.
I already did.
Did you?
I did.
I didn't. I must have been trying to stay on camera at the time.
Yeah. No. So anyway, I'll say this. It is interesting how many of my friends are in both the DCC world and the Numenera world. Like it just seems like folks I know who play one play the other. Partially because I think that one scratches an itch the other doesn't scratch. And part of it because they're my players and I drag them back and forth from game to game depending on what I want to play.
That's yeah.
I'm
being fickle.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so these are good questions so
the
far.
heck?
If you
What
have
the
more
heck?
questions about the Numenera stuff,
thank you, Evie.
post them in here. We're gonna go to the Judge Evie Presides section
Yeah.
of the show. Okay, but we'll come back to the comments in the chat stream in a second. Let's take a look and see
Still
where
down.
is the Kickstarter right now.
Let's see.
No,
It's-
it's not. It's wrong. It's
it
at
hasn't.
523.
It is not moved. It
No,
went down.
Yeah, it went down.
All right, the Kickstarter
All
went
right,
down
we're
$80
down.
since we started filming.
Who did that?
What have
Yeah.
you guys been doing while we've been talking?
Oh my gosh, we are terrible for this.
You gotta get
Matt, I should read the new core books. I like the Numenera from what I saw of it. Yeah, I've been binge reading the Destiny book because I Discovery was all pretty much in the orange book, but we are running a new Destiny campaign to help get Jen a little more experience running the game,
Yes.
so she can demo it occasionally.
More experience. Some experience would be.
And
More accurate.
and also because we were trying to try the Destiny community rules. We built because in Destiny you create a town and you actually role play, kind of making the town bigger and better and awesomer. And we created a town on Wednesday of Leidenbrock, which is located within the Clock of Kala. And at the center of the town is a sentient pool of water that drowns people and grows mushrooms off of them.
Yeah, that went a little more disgusting and dark than I had anticipated.
That's my kind of game.
It is. All right, so let's go to Judge Evie Presides.
Can anyone guess who the first question's from?
I think it's from Greg.
How would you know that?
That's awesome. We still have to send that stuff to him.
I know we
We
didn't get
also
the
have to mail my
envelope.
script in. But they told
Oh,
me to
I
mail
know.
it a week and a half ago.
For what?
Why do
Wizard
all
of
these
Oz.
things fall to
Well,
me?
don't. That's
Because I don't know how to
How
mail
does Wizard of
stuff.
Oz have anything to do with Greg getting his swag?
We're just talking about how
Read the
mail-
question.
It all
Read the
revolves
question.
around the post office. And my glasses keep falling down.
In case you want another question, I'm confused by the starting professions in DCC. Can you start as anything? A milkmaid? A town crier? A derelict? Is it the same in MCC?
All right. So first off, you understand a town crier isn't someone that cries, right?
Yeah, I know.
What's
I
a-
learned it from like the Muppet Show.
What's a town crier do?
They yell and they're
history.
like,
The British are coming! The British are coming!
You learned that from the Muppets?
Wasn't that Paul
Yeah.
Revere?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw that Paul Revere Muppet.
Yeah,
thing
he's like,
many
I'm
times.
George the town crier.
I also like how Greg is now apparently Southern, even though
Yep.
I won't say where he lives, but now that we know where he lives, we don't want to say it out loud because we don't want to have people go this way. But I don't think Southern accents are as strong there.
Maybe they are.
Okay.
You never know.
Oh, this is a screenshot.
So
That's why it's not
to answer the question, Greg, the occupations you're to roll them. Typically, you would roll a D100, and that's what comes up with it.
Just pick one.
No, this isn't your game, lady. All right.
No,
This
Mom.
is in
trying to stay in
DCC.
my
You
lane.
roll it at random.
I need to come over here.
In Mutant Crawl
Make sure I
Classics, it's
stay
a
in.
bit different. You're rolling to be either a hunter or a gatherer. Your only two occupations, and you're rolling essentially what your genotype is. So if you're a human, are you a manimal, a mutant, and such as that. So there's not MCC similar, but it's especially random in each. That said, maybe you're playing with a GM who will let you pick what your occupation is, and in which case, pick something awesome.
What?
Don't pick the person
something
who's like a
awesome.
gravedigger.
No, that's
Why not?
boring.
Because
All I
what
do is
skill
dig
is that?
graves.
I mean, you might have some good upper body strength.
But no, you don't. It's random.
All you get.
Next
is
question.
Shovel.
Well,
Next
Okay,
question.
this next one is from Sid Smith. Yo, Judge Evie.
oh boy.
1. Have either of you guys ever created your own custom patrons for players? If so, tell us about them and what your inspiration was.
No, we haven't.
Nope.
We do want to create a patron for this guy. Let me do it.
Who?
Mucosatron Rex,
Oh.
Slime Sorcerer of the Seven Circles, and Slug Sagittarius A.
Wow.
We do want to do that.
Uh-huh.
But we have not done it. That was just something I tested. See, I was messing around with it one day, and I figured out how to do that. Ta-da. Hopefully, he gets a patron right up at some point.
There's another one. What's your favorite character you
Who is this from?
Sid Smith.
Okay.
What's your favorite character you played?
All right. Let's
I
go
have two.
across. Let's start with
I have 2.
Oh,
With
me?
Jen.
Come on.
Yeah.
what's your favorite character you played? You don't have to keep it in DCC. You can do anything.
Oh, well, my Jackie Dingo. In The Strange.
Your strange agent, Jackie Dingo.
My Kephalum agent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why was that your favorite character?
I just liked the fact that I was this, I don't know. I just envisioned that I was this, tough, cop dog woman that wore leather jackets, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Judge Evie, what's your favorite character you ever
I
played?
have 2. So my
Okay.
first one is Jeff.
Oh, no, I forgot about him.
How could you forget about Jeff?
Let me explain to you
Okay.
Yeah, you got a lot of
Was.
F's.
He was my character in our home game.
For Dungeon Crawl Classics.
People, yeah.
He was a warrior.
I don't really remember him.
He was a warrior.
I just remember his name and
Exactly.
kind of
And
what he did.
why were there so many Fs?
Because each level he got a new F.
So he started out as Jeff with 3 Fs, and then when he leveled up, every time he leveled, he
Yeah.
had an extra. And he got to level 3, so he had 6 Fs. Well, 5 Fs. 5 Fs.
Yeah.
That wasn't annoying.
No, not at all.
He wouldn't go by just Jeff. That's not his name.
What's your second favorite character?
Betty Bunker.
Your current character. You're a wizard. You're demon wizard in DCC.
Yep.
It was really a D&D 5e tiefling warlock, right? Mm-hmm. So really, it's just
But heck
a
that.
5e character.
We gotta
Ah,
convert to the
strong
other.
words.
My favorite character I've played, at least in recent, my favorite character of all time was a gnome wizard from AD&D 2nd Edition named Lucky Lightfoot. And I played him for years in my friend Chuck's campaign, and he made the 15th level. And that was pretty cool for back in the 90s. My favorite DCC character is... Why was that funny?
Back in the 90s.
Back in those days.
Back in Martyr.
Back in my day.
Back in my day of 2006.
Did you have to walk all the way uphill to play that game and then all the way up the hill back home?
Yeah.
Wait, why would you walk up the hill to get there and then also go back?
MC Hammer Pants. Wearing a snap bracelet.
Skids, or called skids or
Wearing a
something?
snap bracelet.
What about heels?
And a teal shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I'm
what you
sure.
wore?
Yeah. The other character I liked in the DCC world would be Sister Serenia, who's my vegan cleric who belongs to a sisterhood that does not believe in any animal products, and therefore all their leather armor is made out of other dead sisters. So when you die, you hand over your skin to be turned into leather for your sisters. Yeah, that was a cool character. Anyway, all right. Was there a third question? All the questions.
Yeah, that's all.
I think
That was all the questions.
Yeah,
Send
all right.
more questions.
Send
or
more
you'll fall
questions
into
to
a pit of lava with
DCC
acid
Judge
too.
Evie.
The
To
heck of a pit.
dccjudgeevie@gmail.com.
Joke's on you. We don't have a lawn.
What? You have to give some context. Like, Fickle
Sorry.
GM says, "Get off my
Sorry.
lawn," and then you have to say, "Jokes
Joke's
on
on
you."
you.
You can't just out of
We
the
don't
blue
have
just say
a
that
lawn.
comment. It
Sorry.
makes no sense.
Yeah.
They can see
Again,
the chat.
more behind the scenes kind of gal here.
We'll do one more look over, see. Has it gone even down further since we came on?
Man, we're bad news for this.
Are we supposed to be helping this? Because it's gone down $180.
It's all your fault.
Another $100. Man, since we started filming, it's now $200.
Evelyn,
I'll tell
going
you.
on?
Anyway, all right. Well, if you've listened to the show tonight and
Jeez,
any of the
please,
Numenera
guys.
stuff has sounded interesting to you, go check out the Kickstarter here and back one of the 2 backer levels that gets you some of the
Kickstarter.
starting stuff, which would be the low end $25 backer level.
Or the much more awesome $300.
Give me everything level, which
Yeah.
How many
is
people are backing out?
I want it all, and I want it in hard copy with free
Now.
PDFs.
She says, "Don't tell Monty," is what.
What?
Yeah.
Don't tell him what.
Yeah. Don't tell him that we've ruined the Kickstarter.
We
You know what
ruined
I
it.
think
We're
what
helping.
it is people are probably backing out of their low
Low-level stuff and
they're
getting
ready
more
to
stuff?
like jump in at that.
Or they're
300.
backing out of their big stuff and going for the low
What's
stuff.
probably happening
does
is
not make
someone
any
saying,
sense.
"Don't ever let Judge Evie and Judge James talk about a role-playing game Kickstarter again, because when they come on, it goes down."
Literally.
I think it's a weird anomaly. I can't-
Maybe.
What's an anomaly?
Maybe not.
Anomaly.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we're gonna wrap things up here again. Last call for questions. Road crew shout-outs. I don't know. The only we
Did
have
you
right
say
now.
we had one?
Yeah, ours is that we'll be at Save Against Fear next month.
That's next month.
Yep, it's
It is
like
coming up.
the weekend of the 12th, 13th,
What are we
14th,
even
something
running?
like that.
I don't even know.
That in October in all the way in what's it called? What's so funny?
Well, I still can't stay on the screen.
In
I
Harrisburg,
know,
Pennsylvania.
hard time.
And speaking of tonight's show especially, it's going to be kind of like tonight's show. I'm running a little DCC. I'm running a little Numenera there, okay?
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
Well, I think you're running some DCC with me,
Oh yeah, I am.
and then you might be helping out with the DCC booth.
I will also be there, but I will not.
You'll be there
I don't think
representing-
I'm running any games.
You'll be representing
Save it.
your shirt.
Safe Against Fear doesn't
Yeah,
have
you
DCC stuff.
Your Monty shirt. You can't even tell there's a cook on there.
That's where to go.
This is Monty Games.
There we go. Oh gosh.
Wait, but Safe Against Fear doesn't have a
Jones says, I
DCC.
almost put the Savage Worlds hardback in the cart. What?
Say what now?
What cart?
Hardbook.
We have a cart here? And then Fickle GM says, only half of Jen
not
was on the
good.
screen. That's half the bid, right?
Oh my goodness.
Matt says you could probably shout out the Brinkmans. You could probably shout out the Brinkmans all the time, right?
Brinkmans!
Wait, I don't understand what you're
I'm
saying.
shouting them out.
Good. I don't know if they're watching for that, but I think they have bigger fish to fry than waiting for a shout out.
Yeah, possibly. All right, so that's our only road crew shout out. Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. I'm not even thinking right now. That's the shout out. Yes, I could shout out the Brinkmans all the time because they are constantly running games. So, but they have their players, right? They've got a. So honestly,
guess so.
if you're watching and you have Joan's going to Brinkmanomicon. If you have a road crew game,
Ever works out.
if you have a
for
road
us.
crew game coming up, let us know. We will talk about it and we'll share it. Okay. All right. Well, that said, I think it's time to tell you where to find us. So you can find us on Twitter at I Live for Crits. on Instagram at Living for Crits.
We're
or
like 75
search
followers.
Living for Crits on YouTube for our long catalog. And one last time, leave here now to the Numenera
Wait, one more
Liminal
time.
Shores
Wait, you
Kickstarter
wanna do the boop, boop,
at
boop?
mymcginfo /Liminal Shores. And then watch their video.
Kickstarter.
Watch their video. It's a lot better than what we're talking about.
No, we're definitely helping them decrease their money.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's really
wrong
the
way.
opposite of what we wanted to
People are like,
do.
I was interested in that Kickstarter. Then Judge James and Judge Evie started talking.
Oopsies.
It could be my, noobness to the Twitch. And
They're backing
the
out.
It
They're
could
like,
be.
no, yeah, they see only half your face. Like, well, only half.
All right, so
of
now the time in our
here.
show we do our outro ASMR.
I'm still going last.
So everyone does something and has to say something. Judge Evie goes last, and I'm gonna start with a little Numenera something.
Looks like they want me to do one. That's bad news.
Oh, you have to start.
Yeah, you start.
No, Jen, you have to. You can't get Savage Worlds before you get Numenera. You get Numenera first. Do whatever you want. All right. Here we go. Ready?
I thought that said lattice.
No, it says Yeda-C. It's a Numenera thing.
Oh, I
It's
thought
a
it
lattice.
was lattice.
All right, Jen, do your ASMR. Yeah, move in
Oh,
close. Close to the mic. Whisper it
I know
in.
it's so hard for you.
Liminal Shores.
Did that even
Can I do something that's not related?
Do whatever
I
you
don't
want.
even know if it worked. Are you sniffling?
No, she
I
can't.
have allergies.
She can't without laughing.
Oh my gosh.
That's one laugh.
Success.
Good night, everybody.